Hi, uh, welcome back to the channel. Um, this is Crowded Table, and the whole main gimmick was that, I'm going to draw something on this really, really crowded table while talking about my life experiences. Um, so the fir- so I've made the first video and I've uploaded it onto YouTube, and it did pretty well. And it got me thinking about the future of the channel, really, and I'm really interested in trying to pursue this as a career. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't have any safety nets regarding, if this flopped, then what am I gonna do as a career and everything like that. I don't like to put my entire existence into just one tiny, 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 tiny box. But at the same time, you also have to wonder, okay, um, I'm going to need a strategy here. So here's my strategy for this. So my first video on the channel is almost 2 hours long. It's 2 minutes shy of being 2 hours long, to be more specific. Now, I know that um, I know that contents like this aren't exactly popular on YouTube, but this is the kind of material that I can do with my current skill set as an editor. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to post 5 videos onto the channel, and then I'm going to take a 2 week long break, and I'm going to learn everything I need to know about editing and voice acting and whatnot. And my plan is that I want to make a 20-minute long drawing bender, um, while simultaneously being kind of a story time YouTuber, you know. But for that transition to happen, I know that it's not going to be easy, and that I'm not exactly at the kind of skill set that I wanted to have as a YouTuber. So the best course of action I can do is that I want to show YouTube that I'm serious about this. So I'm going to create like 5 videos and to my name, because you know I really want this. I really wanted to do this, but at the same time, I want them to know that okay, I have very limited skills in editing, video editing, and and I want to learn a thing or two about how to make the production smooth and all that kind of stuff. And also, I will attempt to use the YouTube Shorts platform, um, which is kind of ambitious for me because I still have no idea what to do with these types of contents. So yeah, so the long and short of it, was that I'm going after my fifth video. I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to learn everything there's to know about editing. Now I'm gonna use this to weaponize it and make it part of you know this YouTube content, because I really wanted this. I really wanted to have a channel of my own. you know. Um, Second of all, after I learned about editing, but I don't think you need to know about editing to know this, but um, I'm also setting a schedule. I'm also setting a schedule. Right now, I really like the sound of making a video every Wednesday and Friday. Sorry, Wednesday and Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. Because it gave me ample time to pick two subjects that I wanted to draw and draw them and then turn it into a YouTube video. I can do all the R&D in the world, and I won't feel any sort of like any sort of feelings like I'm rushing to draw these people. So yeah, I have a list of people that I really wanted to draw, but for now, we're gonna make another Gillian Anderson drawing. Okay, so here's a little bit of a backstory behind why this is kind of a ridiculous situation. I'm a fan of this other Gillian named Gillian Gilbert, and over the course of 6 years, I went and made six very distinct drawings of her. The main, sorry, no, nine, yeah, nine. I made nine distinct drawings of her over the course of 6 to 7 years, and I'm going to make my 10th drawing of her because Gillian Gilbert is just so precious. But I want to put it into context with my Gillian Anderson drawings. So including the Dana Scully drawing that I made for my first ever crowded table video, this will mark the ninth time that I ended up drawing Gillian Anderson in less than 2 months. It took me 2 months to get to the same amount of drawings that it took Gillian Gilbert and myself, 7 years to do. Make of that what you will. I'm pretty certain if Gillian Anderson found out about me, she would have called Interpol and were like, dude, this kid is really disturbing me. Oh my god, he made 9 drawings of me in less than 2 months. So, yeah. Oh my god. So here we go. Um, I really wanted to be kind of like a story time YouTuber slash artist as well. So while I'm drawing, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my life story and where I came from and all that fun jazz and all that stuff. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of my college years, because my God, I did a lot of insane stuff when I'm in college. But I'm going to start off with a story that is a bit more wholesome and less, weird. So here we go. So we're in semester 4. So this is 2019. Um, semester 4, and we have a subject called sociolinguistics. And one of the requisites of the subject was that for one of our assignments, we have to create a language game. What does that mean? Well, that means that whatever games you create, it must be related to language. It must be, it's about grammar and all that kind of stuff, and helping students recognize which are the parts of speech just pure insanity. um, so it's currently the fourth week into the semester, and we are already knee deep into our assignments. This session would have been prior to um, this session would have been prior to the mid semester break. So during the mid semester, prior to the mid semester breaks, so to we were essentially reminded by the lecturers to be like, don't forget you have this assignment to do, and these are the requirements that you need to do. You need to accomplish as part of our rubrics, and we're going to grade you in terms of effort and effectiveness of the game that you designed. Now, in terms of design, it doesn't literally mean like you have to design the game yourself. It's just that, you know, if you adapt something from, if you adapt, like, say, Jenga, it had to be related to language learning itself. And it's really, 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 really tricky, and we had little to no idea what the lecturer wanted us to do. And you know when you were doing things in the moment, you feel lost. So we ended up, you know feeling very much confused. We were left scratching our heads like, what is this assignment going to be about? Because the more we question her about this assignment, the more vague it becomes. But the whole thing is actually relatively simple. It's that you can do whatever the hell you want with this assignment. You can take an already existing game, but you need to turn it into a language-based game. You know, you need to figure out what grammatical skills that your students are going to learn, and then we're gonna and then you're gonna turn it into a game, um, and you need to turn it into a language mastery game. So that's that's essentially the gist of the assignment. Now, the more we question that the description, the more vague it becomes, and I think the lecturer did that on purpose because she really wanted us to hammer home the point that the assignment is actually really simple. Why do you keep asking me this? There are lots of examples of the things I'm asking of you on the internet. Go ahead, use it. But I want to see, some sort of innovation done to the assignments. And so the lectures end, but the confusion still lingers in the air. And I remember thinking, okay, me and my roundtable friends are going to have to make a meeting about this tonight. So that's that. So for brief context, my roundtable friends are a group of 6 people that I'm really close to in my university days, and we often ended up just working together and all that kind of stuff. And you know, I I view them in really high regards, and I hope they viewed me equally high regards as well. So that's kind of that. So we ended up making a meeting, and at 8:30 that day or that night, we ended up scheduling. Okay, we're going to have a 2 hour long meeting about this assignment. Now I'm going to mention their names as pseudonyms. So if I if you think that the names don't fit their personalities, that's because it's not their real names. Okay. So let's call this guy Mark. Mark is one of my closest friends, and he's the one that that really got the ball rolling on what kind of game we are going to make exactly. At first, he wanted us to go and make Jenga into a language game, but none of us could figure out how to turn Jenga into a language-based game. We couldn't do that. We looked for inspiration on the internet, but we couldn't. And then we went to Guess Who. We went to Guess Who, but Guess Who is actually a really expensive game to purchase here in Malaysia. So that was out of the question. Besides, how are we going to turn this into a strictly language game? I, I don't know how, but you know, I don't know how, but there are people who are much smarter than me. So yeah. So to those of you who have managed to figure out how to turn um, Guess Who into a language-based game, I salute you because I just couldn't figure it out. So that meeting that we scheduled to run for 2 hours, well, anything resembling productivity ceased after 15 minutes because we just couldn't figure out what to do. What exactly are we gonna do? And then a couple of weeks passed, and me and Mark, along with my other friend Fifi, met one another again, and we were having lunch. So we kept discussing about, okay, what are we gonna do for this assignment? What is it? And Mark had this wonderful idea, and he essentially said to me, "Why don't we turn a poem that we read and turn it into a game, like a literal video game?" I thought that sounds cool. What game are we going to adapt it to? Mark went blank. And so we went to all the big famous ones, the your Ozymandiases and your Rudyard Kiplings and that kind of stuff. We we were a bit lost. Like, what exactly are these poems going to communicate in terms of a game? Now, granted, we misunderstood the assignment. We literally misunderstood the assignments. We literally thought that the lecturer wanted us to create like a literal game, like something that EA or Brovio would have done. It's not that at all. It's just that she wanted us to use, you know, these games that's already made available to us and then turn it into, you know, a game. But we misunderstood that. on top of that, we heard from a different lecture group, that uh, that this group had created like a legitimate video game, you know, to present in the class. So we were like, okay, I guess we'll be doing video games now. Okay, I don't know how we're gonna do that, but we're gonna do it. And then we settled on Dante's Inferno. Now, a Dante's Inferno game, what I if I knew then what I knew now, we know that Dante's Inferno turning it into a game is not exactly a novel idea. But like I said, I'm not a gamer. I never am a gamer. So I thought, oh yeah, that sounds great. So how are we going to turn this into a game? He was like, simple. This poem actually already had adaptation written all over it. So we're gonna just have fun designing the levels, and we're going to turn some of the things in the poem into like Easter eggs in the game and all that kind of stuff. And one thing you must understand about our group was that, one, I'm one of those leaders that don't like to delegate one thing to one person. If we're gonna suffer, we better suffer together. Okay? So if I have to draw, you better bring your colors with me, and we better color things together, and you better help me ink. On the other side of that argument, if they needed me to write a script, I'm gonna go ahead and help them write the script. It's only fair. I don't like I don't like, delegating one thing to one person at one time. It's one of the easiest way for you to get stressed out, and it's one of the easiest way you could go ahead and create enemies. So we ended up doing it like this. Whatever it is we need to do, we're gonna have to come in and help out. Unless that thing is programming and coding. In which case I know nothing about coding, and if I come in and help you out with that, I'm just gonna muck things up. So that's essentially what we did. We go ahead and created scripts and art designs and all that kind of stuff. And by the 11th hour, we created essentially a manuscript, and we created one of the more visually daring Microsoft PowerPoints out there, and we had essentially a beta version of the game, and it's incredibly buggy, but it's incredibly buggy. So we ended up not showing it to the lecturer because the lecturer is one of those people that, can I play? And if it's particularly laggy, she's going to you know be like, this is laggy. I'm starting to get pissed off. You know what? I'm not gonna bother playing with this game. So we don't bother showing her the beta version of the game, and that ended up just being scrapped altogether. We just ended up taking screenshots of the game and just um, do that. At least that's how I remembered it. I don't know if Mark and Fifi and Mary are going to disagree with this statement, but I guess that's what we did. Uh, like I said, I'm not a gamer. I don't know how to code. They know better than me. I'm just relaying this information using my memories, my admittedly flawed memories and understanding of how gaming works. So, D Day came about, the designation day, and we were actually not the first group to present. We were the fifth. It's just that when you're in this, it's essentially that if you're in this lecturer's classroom, if you were in the fifth, be sure that if you were in the fifth group to present it on that day, you're essentially going to present it on that day. You can't escape your fate if you're in the first four groups that you need that you know present their points. And I will never forget the atmosphere in that room. Never. Because the first group that presented, like the literal first group, did so poorly. They did little to no work that the lecturer ended up being in a worse mood than she came into the than when she came into the lecture halls. And she's already in a pretty bad mood because she's seen in the presentations from the other groups that we're doing. Yeah. And before you get confused about my usage of the other groups and all that kind of stuff, when I said the other groups presenting it, I meant like a different lecture group. Each lecture group had like group A, group B, group C, and we don't have it does you don't have much of a designated meaning behind why you're in group A, group B, group C, group D. It's just that that was the available amount of students that you can do. Now, just because you're in group A doesn't mean that you're in the top class. If you understand what I'm trying to get at here. It's just that you were able to get picked up into the lecture groups that was available to you. So we're in group C, and the previous group, group B, had had to do their presentations earlier that day. So she's already when I said she, I meant the lecturer. So the lecturer was already really pissed off. And then the first group that presented it did literally nothing. Nothing. They did nothing. They literally just took the gameplay from a different game. They didn't even turn it into anything else. They just show the advertisement that would be available in the App Store and just say, "Oh, that's the game." And she was livid. She began asking like, "Okay, why do you think I should give you any marks when you give no effort into doing this?" And granted, the previous week, she already made, she already gave you a chance of visiting her office and asking for consultation as to whether or not, this is something that the lecturer would want to see. I don't know what happened, but they ended up flopping really hard. They barely get a two out of the out of the assignment because they literally did nothing. They just made a presentation on a game that was not theirs, and what little gameplay was in that was was lifted directly from the advertisements. It was shocking, and wow, that was really really shocking. And one of the group leaders of that for that group, I know him, and I know how much of a hardworking guy he is. So this is like something that's utterly out of character for him. So that serves as kind of like the portent of what's to come. Really, it's like, oh no, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We don't even have like a gameplay to show her. We just have the promise of a game, not an actual game. We started feeling nervous, feeling the heat. And then the second group, you know, started presenting. They did fine. The lecturer had little to no notes on it. She had no comment, and she was like, "That's good. Next." And then the third group came in, fourth, and then came our turn. We were ready to get utterly crucified for our work. We handed them our artwork. You know, I primarily did the artwork, but you know, Mark and Fifi and Mary helped out with the shading and the inking, and we handed her the script, the 65 page long script that ended up being 75 pages because I just love pain. Oh man. And okay, that's good. And then, of course, all of the artwork that we managed to compile and the hard copy version of the presentation, of the PowerPoint, and all that kind of stuff. We handed that to her. So I don't know exactly what I said on that day, but I guess something resonated with the way we presented the game because she was like, although you didn't show me any gameplay whatsoever, I could tell you put a lot of effort into this assignment, and that's essentially the whole point of it. You completely misunderstood the assignment, mind you, but I appreciate the hustle. I appreciate you know the effort being put into creating something that I just can't help but marvel at. So so we ended up so we ended up celebrating our meager victory, and and by the end of class, I went to the toilet to calm myself down because it's just so intense. Oh wow, one of the most intense experiences I've ever had in my life. And much to my surprise, we ended up scoring pretty high on that score on that assignment, despite the fact that we're essentially bullshitting our way through completing it. It was fun. It was surprisingly fun. I still have really fond memories over the comments that was handed to our group. Despite everything, we managed to pull something out of our ass, which is even more shocking that the first group couldn't come up with anything. It was weird. Anyway, that's my mildly amusing story regarding my life as a college student. I have more of these really, really, really weird stories, but I want to save some ammo for that later on. So, yeah, that was weird. So, what I'm currently doing here is that I'm currently drawing Gillian Anderson, and the reference photo would be, I don't know if this is an Esquire. Um, this is from Esquire magazine, or if this is from Empire, but they were essentially interviewing Gillian regarding what it's like to work with Lily James on this upcoming movie that they're going to make. And there's this black and white photo of Gillian just standing underneath like a plaza or something, and she looks gorgeous, gorgeous in that photo. Amazing. I don't know who took that photo, but that photo, man, wow, wow. So that's essentially one way of getting me to want to draw you. The photo had to be like some killer photos. It was so good. I'm sorry if it sounded like nails on a chalkboard, but my god, I love this process. I don't know what is it about the drawing process. It just helped me calm down and everything like that. But yeah, it's weird. It's even weirder to think, okay, this something is really, really, really exciting for me. But for a lot of people who are currently watching this, it's gonna look like the slowest, most lumbering process that you're gonna go through. This is literally only like fun and exciting for me. So I'm sorry, dear viewers. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Gillian Anderson prior to this year. Um, as mentioned in my previous drawing session, there's this channel called Nugget, and the way the videos were edited, you know, it's essentially a fan account, sure, you know, a fan compilation of all the wacky things that Gillian Anderson has said and all that kind of stuff. But the way it was edited really resonated with me. I don't know what it is, what's the secret recipe there, but the way it was edited was like it helps accentuate the joke rather than take away from it. If you understand what I'm talking about. Because oftentimes there will be a lot of these like compilation channels wherein they tried so hard to make it funny, but it ended up not being funny. And there are of course these other compilation channels that simply just compile the footage and not add any like additional layer of context to why Jillian said the things that she said. It's not a Anderson out of context clip. It's literally just a fan compilation. But what's the context behind why she said it. With Nugget, especially the brain fart edition, uh, the brain fart edition video, you know, there were flashbacks to why Gillian Anderson said the things that she said, uh, particularly with the with her comments regarding football. So here's a little bit of context. So the way that Nugget edited that video was that, so you cut to a live stream of Jillian, presumably off of Instagram, and and then there's this moment in the video was like, what are your thoughts on that thing that happened once every 4 years? The and then the video would flash back to when Jillian said the thing about, okay, what does it mean by the thing that happened every once every 4 years, thus giving you the proper context behind the joke, thus explaining, not really explaining, but it gives some much needed context to how to why the fans made comments like that and why Jillian reacted the way she did. And then you dissolve back to the present day, and Jillian ended up saying, "Oh, that shall not be named." I don't know what it is about that, but it's so funny. It's just so funny. So so I just saw Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. My God, what a weird movie! Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I don't know if I like that movie or not. I really don't know. Do I like that movie? Do I hate that movie? What is that movie? I don't know what to say. It's like even I'm confused of what exactly I'm saying. It's weird. It's really one of the weirdest film experiences I've ever had in my life. First of all, how did they portray Prime? When I saw Prime in Rise of the Beasts and seeing him brandishing the G1 look, but then he acts so pissy that it's almost distracting how weirdly out of character that character is. You know, it's like, okay, it had the same look as the character that we grew up with and we fully like love and look up to, you know. And somehow he came across more sadistic than than the actual psychotic Optimus Prime from the Bayformer movies. It's weird. And the way he murdered, um, and the way he murdered Scourge is like, excuse me, what the hell? That movie is weirdly violent. Like, not in the way that Michael Bay was like, oh wait, I'm Michael Bay. I need to add some weird, gory details into this fight for some reason. No, it's like the movie is weirdly dour. It's weird. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I need to see that movie again. I don't know what to think of it. I don't know what to. Also, Wheeljack. What the hell is Wheeljack? Everything, his design in the movie is really off. Like, what the hell is this? He looks like a nerd. His alt mode is the most inconvenient thing I could think of. You know, by all accounts, he should act like Grant Zeslov in Dante's Peak. Yet he's not. It's weird. I'm at a loss because I don't know what to say. That movie's weird. Also, don't you think that the movie looks strangely ugly? Hmm, because this is also the same cinematographer from the 2018 Bumblebee movie, and I and the color grading in that movie is fine. So what the hell happened here? Looks weird. Everything about that movie is weird. I'm absolutely going to go see it again in the next 3 days because wow. One of my absolute favorite parts about this drawing, sorry, the reference picture is its innate um, potential to be turned into a drawing. It looks so gorgeous, and the way Gillian just looks to the side, and she looks like she's contemplating something. It was like, wow. The atmosphere in that photo is just palpable. Can't wait to watch that movie actually. So there was this interview that she made circa 2014, something like that. And she was being interviewed about, you know, essentially her life and career and, you know, what it's like to play Stella Gibson and, of course, the big Stella Gibson controversy in which she courted sex from a cop and everything like that. And there was there was this section in the interview that made me strangely respect her. You know, it made me strangely respect her. So this interviewer asked her about, okay, whether or not she regretted moving to the UK because she could have been an even bigger name than she is now. And she straight up laughed in her face. She straight up laughed in the interviewer's face. She straight up laughed, and she was like, and I was like, that is the laugh of a woman who regrets nothing. The fact that she just loves the craft and everything, it's just impressive to me. Of course, it shouldn't come as a surprise that Gillian would react like that because in an interview by the Guardian, I don't know what it is, but it's circa 2004, and they were interviewing her because she's going to be in that play where she played another character named Dana, and she committed suicide. Um, she said something along the line of, "I just don't like I just don't like the whole process of you know being on. I just don't like the whole process of being on this press junkets time and time again. It all just felt so masturbatory and she's more than glad that she moved to the United Kingdom after the X Files ended because she couldn't possibly function in the world of in the way that Hollywood function. And I strangely respect her for it. I really do. Like, wow, this is a lady that made a decision. She doesn't regret it. And she's happy where she is at. Like, wow. I strangely respect her for that. You ever felt like Gillian Anderson would be a really interesting person to kind of pick away at her brain? I felt like if I were ever an interviewer, or if I were ever big enough to make like a podcast, and I invited her on the show, and it's not to promote anything really. It's just that I really just want to pick away at her brain. I want to see how her brain works. It's just she's really interesting, really really interesting, fascinating. By the way, this coming Sunday you can expect Gillian Gilbert to come on for me to draw Gillian Gilbert instead. I've drawn Gillian Anderson twice over. You don't need any more of this process. It's a really, really, really long, arduous process. Can any of you see anything I've been doing the past couple of hours? I really hope so. Then what the hell is the point of doing this? Okay, so this is going to be darker because this literally makes no sense. This right here is dark, but this also will be dark, so I'm gonna create a border to it, like so. editors to be really, really fascinating people. You know, mainly because I've seen Walter Murch and I've seen Michael Kahn being interviewed, and I keep hearing like their process behind the editing and whatnot. And wow, they were just like they were interested in a lot of really niche areas of scholarship. Uh, they were really into niche um, subjects. If this were the 15th century, they would have been those really, really weird scholars that studied, I don't know, whales or something. They are really incredibly fascinating people. And one of the most fascinating editors I've ever seen in my life is Walter Murch. I remember reading an article regarding the guy, and one of the things that immediately draw my eye to it was the following sentence, and that Walter Murch Walter Murch is one of those guys that's strangely intimidating with his height, and combined with the fact that he is a very, very, very quiet man, but he will stare daggers into your soul. I find him strangely um, fascinating with that. And of course, I saw some of his pictures and um, Google images, and there's just something about him that's been through a lot. And so, whatever thing that you are thinking of pulling on him, he was like, "You don't scare me. I edited Apocalypse Now. If you think you're terrifying, I'm sorry. No. Editing Apocalypse Now is where sanity goes to die, and where the abyss will take hold of your soul." I don't know why exactly people find the process of me drawing this, as kind of scary. I don't know why. I really don't know why. It's just a bunch of shapes, really. You need to find ways to kind of like highlight where, what is what, which is which. You know, don't make your drawings too dark. Don't make your drawings, you know, not have enough contrast and all that kind of stuff. Okay. How many batteries do I have left? Surprisingly, quite a lot. Surprisingly, quite a lot. Amazing. I really wish I could play some songs right now to accompany me in drawing this. Yeah, I'm okay. That's good. Make it shorter. Ah, sorry. Make it a bit shorter. This. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, that's good. Okay. Gillian Anderson is literally the first actor that made me go, wait, how do you function? How do you manage to learn all these lines? I have the world's worst memory when it comes to memorizing things. And Jillian often have like 2 to 3 projects in a year. So how did she find time to memorize her lines, still delivering the performances that was needed of her, and she still functions, and she still functions as a human being? How? I could, man, this is one of those times where I was like, there's no way I could be like Gillian Anderson. No way. No way I can be an actor. And then, of course, having to attend press junkets and then deal with jerk fans. You know, uh, I'm sure there are times when she's like, where she's looking at her fans and we're like, guys, chill. There's only so many hours in the day for me to deal with you. I want to go home. I want to go to. I want to go home. I want to look at my daughters and sons. See, this is one of those instances where my engrossment it doesn't equate your engrossment. Oh, honey, I could do this all night. Can you? I'm just excited. Okay. I literally use less than $10 worth of materials here. By dollars, I mean US dollars. It was, it was only ever um, high polymer leads and mechanical pencils for me. Maybe someday I will tackle charcoal pencils, which might come much easier because I purchased an entire set of, you know, charcoal pencils. Would you like me to show you my pencil collection? 'Cause it's gonna be a bit weird. So if you guys can handle the weight, I'll go and search for my charcoal pencil collection. My phone, don't turn off. Please don't turn off. Now the crowded table gets even more crowded. This is my collection. All of it. And now you understand why a lot of my friends decided to borrow pencils from me. I have a lot. I have a lot of pencils. Anyway, time to resume drawing. Okay, now we are going to add some tidying up on the side of this paper. And voila. Now we're going to search for the creases of the skirt. So this will be the creases of the skirt. So we're going to shape it in gray. Can you see what I'm doing here? Again, I'm simulating, I guess, polyester? Question mark? Yeah, but that's what I'm doing now. And also Jillian's hand is... Sorry, Jillian's hands are in the pocket. So we have to take that into account too. So add it here. Mhm. And there. There you go. Now we're gonna shape. By the way, Gillian Anderson released a line of sodas called G-Spot. I don't know about you, but I kind of want it. I felt like I said these things in the previous video. Forgive me if I repeated myself, but yeah. Now you understand why I had to learn how to edit, don't you? Because you're gonna trudge through this for almost 2 hours. I don't know about you, but I'm not Cecil B. DeMille. You're not gonna go watch something that's a little over 2.5 hours, especially on YouTube. No, no way. Okay, let's move in on the top part of the torso. Dip, 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 and dip, and freaking dip, 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 dip. Um, can you imagine the duration of this live stream if I decided to like show you the full process? I know this seems like a lot, but trust me, this is quite relaxing actually. Now, if I draw something really scaly, then I could go ahead and say, yeah, that's a lot of work. It's not that much fun. But if you want to do that as like a spite, then yeah, go ahead and do it. Oh yeah, look at her. Oh yeah. My god, at this rate, it's gonna run as long as The Godfather. These are the fabric creases. Sorry, these are the fabric creases, so you have to be rather careful about how you shade it in. Okay. Did you see what I've done there? I hope you do. I know this live stream isn't as good as, the 8 Bulaga live streams. Sorry. 33% is left. Wait. 33%. Nay. Ah, I'm taking a wee break right now because my hands feel a bit numb. Mm. Right, let's continue on. Can any of you see anything? What time is it? Oh, okay. 16 minutes to midnight. We're at the tail end of this drawing session, to which you guys can now proclaim hallelujah. We're, we are in the home stretch now. My god, this is so tiring. Now we're gonna smooth out the shading on the face. Let's hope I don't fuck it up. Okay. Ta-da! It's over! It's over! Wow! What a shot! Okay, so I'm gonna put my signature now. So it's technically 15th of June. 15, 6, 23. Wow! Oh wow, I'm proud of this. Oh, I can't wait to post this on YouTube. My God. Ooh. Yeah, that's all from me for today, guys. See you again this coming Sunday.